guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back to another session of After You Say I Do. And we have two new, beautiful, wonderful faces with us. Oh my gosh, the excitement. Yes, we are here with Mr. and Mrs. Saunders. And y'all know the questions we're going to ask them. So let's ask them. We're going to start ladies first. Ladies must go first. Melinda.
Yeah.
Before you got married, you had expectations. I know you had expectations. I don't know of a lady who does not have expectations. How did you get married? What were your expectations? What did you think that marriage was going to be like before you even met Brother Saunders? What did you think it was going to be like?
All right. So I thought that marriage would be like I would be floating in the clouds every day. When you talk about someone who you love and you want to spend the rest of your life with, you're thinking about happily ever after. I was also expecting to have a child just a year after being married. Yes, that was one of my expectations. Yes, I expect to be emotionally attached to this person who I'm deeply in love with every day, every single day. And those are some of my expectations before marriage.
Thank you for sharing. Let's hear from you, Brother Saunders. What were your expectations before you even met the beautiful Melinda? What did you think marriage was going to be like?
Thank you so very much, Nicola, for having us. My expectations. Whoa, funny enough, Nicola, I am one like this that the less expectations you have, the less likely you are to be disappointed, eh? And I don't like to be disappointed. But nevertheless, of course, I would have expectations. Getting married to this beautiful woman. When before we even got there, my expectations were, always being attached to, always wanting to have her in my space because that's how I felt, before I got married. Always wanted to have her around and well, this is after you say I do series. So to be honest, before I got married, I thought that I won't be able to take my hands off her. Yes, before I got married, the expectation was, as she said, I'm not a fairy tale person, but that happily ever after, not in the storybook kind of way, but making life and sharing memories with the woman of your dreams. I love to travel, I love to explore. And so I saw marriage as that place. I tell you this, I didn't do a lot of traveling and exploring before I got married. So I was looking forward to making memories with someone I love, lifelong memories. So I expected the travel and the memories here and there and then I also expected the solidity of what a family brings, that the comfort, my happy place, my safe haven, going home to a place that I'm always welcome, I'm always comfortable, going home to that space that when the world isn't treating me so well, I can shut myself into this space and all my worries disappear. That was my expectation before getting into marriage.
You see why I got married to him? Oh my God, he's able to express himself so well. Oh, wow, it's so attractive.
Oh my.
Off, you said you don't like to have expectations, and then when you started with your expectations, I should write a book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I love the honesty. I love it. Now, these were your expectations before you even met each other, before you knew what marriage was. Obviously, you've never been married before. This is your first rodeo.
Yes, yes. You
What's
know,
that?
just to interject here, I remember being a kid, you know, and we used to play this game. I don't know if you played where you're from, but we used to play this game, and you draw a square or a box, and you
Yeah.
would write the age at which you want to get married. I don't know if
Yes.
it was a girl's game, but I was playing.
Yes.
Yes. Pardon me
Yeah,
for
I
playing,
played
but
it.
I used to play that game, and you wanted to have 3 kids, 4 kids, 5 kids, or where you wanted to live. And I want to live in Paris or England and all these fancy stuff. And most times you want to get married by age 25, there about. Seems like a nice age to
Yes.
get married and all of that kind of stuff. So
Yes.
even those little childish things kind of impacted, expectation of marriage, the perfect family, having kids when you want them, getting the
Yeah.
dream job when you want it, taking the vacations when you want it, and all of that nice fancy stuff, having that lovely home, the nice car, and that, as I said, the security of having that space that you can run into, you can lock the world out, and you are just fine. Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds blissful. These expectations.
Yes.
Very beautiful and blissful. What was the reality for you, Sister Melinda? Was
All
it
right.
everything that you thought it was going to be? Were there differences? What was the reality?
All right. So early on, I told you that I thought it was going to be blissful all the time, floating on cloud nine all the time. It's not always like that. It's definitely not always like that. We share differences, and with differences, we won't always be on the same page. Also, time, time. I thought that I'd have, enough time spent with him so that we can have that, deep emotional connection. But when we got married, I started school. I I was working, and he was working late in the night. Sometimes I did not get to see him until the next day. So that was also a factor. We never had enough time to see each other initially. Also, the expectation after marriage. Um, I had my child in 2019, and we got married in 2017. I was hoping to have my child just a year after I got married because, us females, we keep saying the biological clock and everything, And I had a medical condition, and I was saying, boy, I don't want to wait too long until I have a child. But with school and everything, we had to put it off until everything was settled. Well, everything did not get settled because while I was doing my master's, while I was working, almost at the end of my master's, I said, well, let's try now. Let's try, man. Let's just try. And we tried, and bam, bam, you know? And then, as I said, the time we didn't get to spend enough time, apart from him being at work, and I could not get to see him when I had the baby. That's another time, being taken away. So we the connection was there because we know we love each other. We love each other. But when we spend time together, it kind of solidifies and strengthens our bond and our togetherness. And that's the that's what happened after marriage.
The reality. Ooh, the honesty of the reality of marriage. I love.
Right.
Let's hear from you, Brother Saunders.
Ah, to add to what she said, because time has always been an issue. When we just got married, it was blissful. I must admit, it was blissful. It was what I had expected. you know. Can I say that I, when we got married, my wife was still a virgin, and
Yeah.
that for me was something like big. That was huge. That's something I felt special knowing, I am that one and only. So that adds something like that. It's like stardust. It was like stardust. Yes, that kind of thing. So in the initial stage, it was just blissful, feeling this, this sense of floating away. In fact, even on my social media, I used to post stuff because persons, I didn't know people were taking notice. People were taking notice and they were texting, they were calling, and they were saying, and I used to put the hashtag the bliss continues, because it was blissful and in the initial stage. And,
Yeah.
but as she said, she started her master's degree shortly after we got married. And for the first part, it was still okay,
Mhm.
but then the workload of the master's degree, and then her work, her 9 to 5 being a teacher. And then I am working on a special project here, and it demands so much of my time. And then I transitioned into management. So now I was leading people, and
Yeah.
the kind of job that I do, sometimes we have to be out in the nights because we work on the road. So I remember there was one particular week that we slept in the same bed, but we never saw each other with our eyes open for like 4 days. 4 days, even though sleeping in the same bed. Because when I came home from work in the wee hours of the morning, she was sleeping. I didn't want to wake her. And when I woke up, she was already gone to work. And this repeated for like 4 consecutive days. I remember saying it to my project manager, and she said to me at the time, absence makes the heart grow fonder and all those kind of things. So time, that was a big issue, or not necessarily an issue, but it was something to manage, so to speak. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was something to deal with, to get used to. And then, you know, you couldn't do as much as you would want to,
Mhm.
the traveling and the this and the that, because we were so confined by our responsibilities. Add the baby to the mix, that changes a whole lot. It changes a
Yeah.
whole lot for
Yeah.
my
Mhm.
wife, changed a whole
Mhm.
lot for her. The changes her body went through, the emotional
Yeah.
trauma, the ups, the downs with, you know, being pregnant and studying and working, and the load was just heavy, and the demands on me as well. And I had to try to, be that strong guy, even times when I really felt weak. There were times during her pregnancy. Can I tell you a secret? We went to the doctor once while she was pregnant, and she was told by the doctor that she may be high risk. Without giving too much details, she might be high risk. And I think the doctor was premature. That's just me in making that statement. And she took that, she ran with it all through the pregnancy. So she was just so careful, and everything was no a problem, and if she saw anything, and it's being a first time, mom, or being pregnant for the first time, all these things happening are new to you. And so she would panic at, or get flustered every little change in her body. If she felt like she was too hot, too cold, it would be a big thing. And imagine me having to manage work and manage everything in the house, and that emotional trauma. And then there were other instances where, she got struck by a football at work. Some kids were playing, and I was at work, and I had to drop everything, and I had to just drive and pick her up, take her to the doctor. There was another time I was called, and I had to rush. She was in the emergency room, and it was just scary. But I knew that I had to be strong, because she there's like in situations like that, she doesn't do well too well under that sort of pressure. So I had to be strong even when I felt like broken, even when I felt weak, you know. And it took a level of maturity, a level of, I don't know, mental strength to kind of cope through those times. And then, you know, it's also what is normal, and this is something that we got used to. What is normal after you get married? It's like, that thing you've always been reaching after, and it's so appealing, and it's so like, yes. And when you grasp it, you have that feeling of wow. But over time, you have it there. It's like a brand new phone. You go through it and all the features, but after a while, you don't pay it that much mind. And it's the reality, So because I knew I had her there, she knew she had me there. So there were times when we probably even were a little bit maybe negligent of each other because, I already have her, she already have me, and so those things. And then the truth is, let's be real, it's not that we were careless or we are careless. It's just that life happens. And you're busy with this. And sometimes what I realize in relationships, you don't have enough time. And you can hardly sacrifice the time on your 9 to 5. You can't sacrifice the time or the attention you need to give to a child. You can't sacrifice the time you need to give to study. So who gets shafted? The spouse. Usually it's the time that you should spend with your spouse that you cheat that time to patch the other areas and to make up for the time. And that happened. And that was something that we had to seriously sit and talk about and work on and say, listen, we have to fix this.
Yeah.
I'm the fixer. Most times the women will say, we have to fix it, so we need to do that. It's weird. I'm that person because I got that from my dad. I can see 5 steps down the road. And so if I see something out of place here, I start to extrapolate to see how will this, turn out 5 steps down 5 days down the road, a year down the road. And if the outcome of that is not looking good, I won't leave it. It must be fixed. We have to fix it because I don't want our relationship to get to a point where, we bottle in so much and then it explodes and then persons throw in, tantrum or insult. So and so that sort of reality, we had to manage as a young couple, Thankfully, we had people who we could talk to, a few persons who we could talk to, and persons who we could look up to as examples. I could pause here a little bit. I'm talkative.
So I'm the quiet one in the relationship. If should there be like something that we disagree on, he would want to try to fix it. As he said, he's a talker. And I would be reserved. I'm not saying anything. When I'm upset, I don't talk. And that was one of that was something that we needed to fix because we need to communicate in order to get things sorted out. And so that's one of the things that I try to fix on my side so that we could compromise on things and work things out.
Yes.
Wow, you guys, I could just listen to that two of you all day. It's like a very good series. And like, yes, next episode, please.
Yeah, there's something about us as well. There's something about us that I love in our union. Whenever we have a disagreement, we do not allow it to explode until to that extent where we don't talk to each other or we wait until the next day or 2 or 3. I can't get upset with him and say vex at him. He won't allow me.
I won't
allow me to be angry, to be a woman. We women, we like to be, He's not allowing me to. He's going to play with me. He's going to try everything. And then, I'm going to get a little soft and like, all right, you know. So I really like that. We don't go to bed angry. We try to fix things. We try to work things out. And if even if it reached to a point where, we go to bed angry before the morning, the morning awakens, I'm gonna get because I'm gonna be turning and twisting all night. So I wake him up. I'm sorry. And try to talk about it because I like when we are close knitted. I like when the bond is there because I love being in a relationship with him. He's nice. He's fun. He's a counselor. He's one of the greatest support system ever, like legit ever. He is one of when I go through a lot. I go through a lot. And he has been there. I don't know. He has a way with words to get you to believe in yourself, to get you to realize that you're worth it, and to get you to be more confident, you know. And that's really what I really love and admire about him.
Wow.
I
Thank you,
actually love
Dave.
it. Stop it.
Welcome.
I love it. I love that there is so much love between you. And you sound like you only just got married yesterday, but I know you guys have been married for years. It's
For
beautiful.
4 years and
Oh
counting.
yeah, yeah,
4 years
Wow.
yeah,
and counting.
It's
yeah.
beautiful. And I hear your stories and I hear you say all the things that you go through. And for some people it might sound like, well, it might sound easy. Because oh well, they did it. But I'm sure it wasn't always easy, was it?
No.
It
Mm,
takes
It's
it
not easy. It's love is a decision.
mhm.
It's a decision. Many people think love is a feeling, but
Yeah,
love is a decision
it is.
because you have to get up every day and decide to love. If you think love is a feeling, emotions change, your hormones, your environment, everything affects emotions. And so you will get up this morning madly in love and you have a bad
Hmm.
day at work and you don't want to love because your emotion is all over the place, you know?
Yeah.
But if you make a decision to love, then even when you don't feel like, many
Hmm.
times when I try to fix things, it's not because inside my head, that little voice is saying, fix it. Sometimes there is that little voice inside my head saying, listen, leave her alone. Let, let her do what she wants to do. Let her feel the pain of failure or whatever it is. But
Hmm.
then
Hmm.
there is another little voice that says, what do you get from that? And at the end of the day, you love her. You will have to go and rescue her from whatever she gets herself into. So save
Hmm.
yourself the headache and just. And sometimes it's a headache trying to fix things too. You know, sometimes it's an headache trying to fix things, but at the end of the day, it's worth it. It's worth
Yeah.
it. One of the, I don't know if this is off key or anything, but one of the things that apart from her beautiful face and all of that, apart from that, one of the biggest things that pulled me to her and helped me to make the decision to say, listen, I want to get married to her, was her ability to forgive.
Yeah. Hmm.
Because I always tell myself that if I am going to be the one that will keep her in check all the time, it's not going to work. If I am going to be the one who is going to keep her always loving me, it's not gonna work because I am going to mess up. I'm going to do stupid things. I'm going to say things that I meant no harm, but it caused harm. I'm going to say things that when I'm upset were intended to cause harm, and I'll have to apologize about it.
Hmm.
But because she has this heart to forgive, to the point that sometimes she will, allow persons to treat her some kind of ways that gets me upset. You know, when you see people treat your people like trash, and you're like, stand up for yourself. But she's like, no, I have to. remember that I'm a Christian. I have to remember that, I have a soul to save and all of that. And I'm like, well, at least I can benefit from that, because if I ever mess up, then she will hopefully extend that same type of forgiveness to me. And she has been doing that, that the forgiveness, and we try. I firmly believe, Nicola, that it's not the big things that makes uh, relationships work or fail. It's the little things. It's doing the little things consistently. If you do the little things that are nice and good consistently, love will work. If you do the little things that are stupid and are destructive, love definitely won't work.
That's true.
You can, anything you can think of that you think is probably, the worst thing that, your spouse can do to you. Of course, there are borders and lines to cross. But if you think disrespecting you in public is the biggest thing, you can get over that, if it happens on a one-off occasion. But if it is something that it's like that small pebble in your shoes and you have to be walking for days with it, ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work. It would be better if you bump your toe, bruise it, put a band-aid, know that it's hurting, you treat it well, it gets better, and you keep moving, than having that small pebble in your shoes. It's not cutting, but it just makes you uncomfortable every day. After a while, you're just gonna want to jump out that shoes. And it's the same with the relationship. If it's like that, you're just gonna jump out of it, and I can't be bothered. So I try to go around with the microscope looking for those little things, find them,
Find
and
that pebble.
try to eradicate them. Yes, I think our marriage counselor said to us that we shouldn't compare ourselves to each other, and we should find our strengths. And if you're good at something, don't get the other person or get at the other person for not being good in that area. So if I'm good with the money, be good with the money. And if she's good with keeping the home, then let her be good doing that. And don't bombard her with, I don't like how you spend money. Okay, so I spend the money, she deals with the house. And if it's the other way around, if she knows how to budget better than I do, and I'm better in the kitchen, then I do the kitchen and let her do the money stuff. Because that's what a partnership is. If we all come with the same skill sets, something will be left out.
Wow, thank you guys so much. I mean, I was not even beginning to expect all of this rich information. All of this. This is a lot more than I expected, and it is so beautiful, the love that you share. I really pray that God continues to bless and strengthen your union. I want to give each of you 2 minutes, Brother Saunders. I did say 2 minutes to give your your last words. If you have any last words or advice that you want to share, you have 2 minutes to do that.
I can take less.
I'm not going to take much. I'm going to go first. I'm going to go first.
She wants to go first. Go ahead,
because I'm not going to take long. Our counselor said, remember that you are first Christian before partners, and I take that in our relationship, so whatever problems we have, remember we are first Christians before we are partners. So fix things in the godly way, whatever our problems are, take it to the Father, whatever our concerns are, whatever our plans are, take it to the Savior, and He will fix things. He will bind us together like cords that cannot be broken.
Thank you so much. Let's hear from you.
All right. So my last words would be like an encouragement to any young person who wants to get married. Marriage is a beautiful thing. I don't know. it's kind of strange to me that sometimes you hear young people say, I don't want to be married, I don't want to. And I'm like, you're missing out on something. But if you're going to do it the right way. Wait, be deliberate about your actions and choose wisely. Don't rush in because of your feelings. Trust me, I had ton loads of feelings, and they after marriage, they balance out. They don't go. They don't go and they shouldn't go, but they balance out, they balance out. If you're not eating, your hunger escalates, and until you feel famished. But if you are constantly fed, you will feel hungry, you will eat, and you'll be satisfied. That's how those emotions will come to that balance, that equilibrium. All that you're feeling, it will come to that when it's being fed, right? So it's good when you choose wisely who will feed those emotions. I also want to say that, if you, I know everyone who watches this won't be a Christian or not, may not even be God fearing. But if you allow God, yes, I have to say that, if you allow God to help you in the choosing, then your selection will be perfect. Yes. Lastly, I said it earlier, but I will say it in a different. I will say, am I good with the 2 minutes? Or she left some, so if I take it, it's okay. Lastly, I will say this, that relationship is hard work. It's hard work. There is no time to like feel as though I've done well last year and so this year I can relax. It's hard work. You have to get up and do it every day.
Yeah.
And if you do it every day, it won't feel like hard work. It is a hard work, but if you do it every day because you're doing it and you're not allowing there to be backlogs and that sort of stuff, then it flows and you will enjoy a wonderful and a happy marriage. Yes, so choose wisely, go for it.
Thank you. Thank you both for all that information and for sharing some of your life story really with us. Your marriage sounds so beautiful. I wish I could like just see a movie. It just sounds so beautiful. And I love the reality that you painted. And I love that you spoke about, hey, this is what I expected. This is what I thought it was gonna be like. And this is really what it was. There was more work than I probably thought there was gonna be. But that doesn't take away from the beauty that was there and that is there in your marriage. Thank you for sharing. And to all the viewers, I want to say thank you for viewing. Go ahead, like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that we are here and we are sharing great information with you. Go ahead, do all the good stuff. Join Nicola Land. We are waiting on you. Thanks again for coming. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for having us. Bye.
Bye.